Crescent Moon Loving My Scammer, The Michael and Seline Story. By T. When Michael's heart shatters, he swears love is a lie. But one message from a stranger, a Filipina he believes is a scammer, changes everything. In a story of truth, forgiveness, and unexpected love, he discovers that sometimes the heart finds forever in the most impossible places. Crescent Moon Chapter 1. The Message. Michael sat in the dim glow of his laptop screen, the cursor blinking like a heartbeat in an empty chat box. The silence of his apartment in Chicago was deafening, just the hum of his refrigerator and the occasional sigh of his own loneliness. 6 months. That's how long it had been since Claire left him, the Filipina girl he once loved, the one who'd made him believe love had no borders, no distance, no limits, until she left. No explanation, no goodbye, just silence. He deleted her messages months ago, but the memories wouldn't go away. Every night felt heavier than the last, the loneliness gnawing at him like an echo that wouldn't stop. He told himself he was done. Done with love. Done with heartbreak. Done with Filipina girls. He still remembered the last words she said. "You love too hard, Michael, too fast." Maybe she was right. Maybe loving deeply had become his curse. He tried to fill the void with work, travel plans, and meaningless conversations online, but the world seemed quieter after her. But fate, or maybe irony, had other plans. That night, as he scrolled through his messages, a new chat popped up. Unknown, hello smiling face with smiling eyes. He almost ignored it. The profile picture was a pretty Filipina girl, dark hair, soft smiled too perfect. He'd seen these before. Scammers pretending to be sweet, asking for help, for love, for money. Michael leaned back and chuckled bitterly. Not tonight. But the message blinked again. Unknown, are you awake? Curiosity tugged at him. He typed a short, guarded reply. Who's this? You trying to scam me too? The girl on the other side, Seline, sent a laughing emoji. Unknown, maybe, depends, what are you offering? Her humor caught him off guard. Michael, who is this? Unknown, my name's Seline. Sorry if I bothered you. I just saw your comment on a travel post about the Philippines. I live there. He stared at the words, unsure why they felt genuine. Her tone wasn't flirty or manipulative. It was shy, polite, careful. Michael, you're from the Philippines. Seline, yes. Small town near Cebu. Have you ever been? Her replies came slowly, like she was nervous. Michael found himself answering, one cautious sentence at a time. Minutes turned to hours. She told him about the rain in her town, how the sea smelled after a storm, how her grandmother still cooked with firewood. In return, he told her about snow, the kind she'd never seen, and the silence of winter mornings. It wasn't love, not yet. It was comfort. But when he logged off that night, his chest felt lighter than it had in months. As he closed his laptop, Michael whispered to himself, "Don't be stupid. She's probably just another scammer." Still, the next evening, he found himself waiting for her message. Crescent Moon Chapter 2. The Voice Behind the Screen. Days turned into weeks, and the quiet hum of messages became a rhythm in Michael's life. Every night at 9, when the world outside his window turned still, Seline's name would light up his phone, soft, constant, familiar. They talked about everything. The difference between sunsets over Lake Michigan and those that sank behind the Viscyan Sea. Her dream of owning a small cafe by the beach. His fear of growing old alone. Seline, you sound lonely sometimes. Michael, sometimes I am. Seline, maybe you just need someone to talk to. He smiled at that, someone to talk to. It sounded so simple, yet it felt like a promise. Still, in the back of his mind, the warning remained she could be lying. He'd read stories, seen news clips. Men like him sending money, gifts, even their hearts to strangers who didn't exist. So one night, he asked the question that had been haunting him. Michael, Seline, are you real? There was a pause. The blinking dots on the screen went on and on. Then her reply appeared. Seline, If I say yes, will you believe me? His chest tightened. Michael, I want to, but I've been fooled before. He regretted the message instantly, but she didn't get angry. She sent a voice message instead. Michael hesitated before pressing play. Then, a voice filled the room, soft, uncertain, musical. Hi, Michael, it's really me. I don't blame you for not trusting people online, but I'm real, I promise. There was something in the tremble of her words that pierced him, not fake sweetness, but honesty wrapped in shyness. He played that voice note again, and again. That night, he didn't just hear Seline, he felt her. He found himself talking back to her audio messages, laughing at her little stories, staying up until dawn as their conversations became longer, deeper, warmer. By the third week, she wasn't just a name on a screen anymore. She was a voice in his head, a heartbeat he waited for. And in a moment he couldn't explain, he realized he was falling. But love, real love, is never simple. Because somewhere across the ocean, Seline was hiding something. Something that could shatter everything they had built from words and trust. Crescent Moon, Chapter 3, Falling for the Stranger. Michael never meant to fall in love again. He told himself that every morning. He repeated it every night. But love, as he was learning, doesn't always ask for permission. Weeks passed like soft waves, gentle, constant, and unstoppable. Celine's messages had become his mornings, her laughter his nights. He started to notice small things, the way she added an extra hee-hee when she was nervous, or how she'd send a picture of her coffee with a caption. Drinking this while thinking about snow. They hadn't met, hadn't touched, hadn't even seen each other beyond a few photos. Yet somehow she felt closer than anyone ever had. Michael, you ever wonder how weird this is? Seline, what? Michael, falling for someone you've never met. Seline, maybe not weird, maybe it's just rare. Her words lingered in his chest, long after their chat ended. One night, she asked him to call. His heart raced as he answered. Hi, she said, her voice soft through the static. Hey, he whispered, afraid to breathe too loud. The silence between them was tender, not awkward. The kind that feels like two souls listening to each other's heartbeat across oceans. They talked about music, dreams, the taste of mangoes versus strawberries. And then, without warning, she said, Michael, can I tell you something strange? You can tell me anything. Sometimes I feel like I've known you before, like in another life. He laughed softly, but his heart trembled. Then maybe I've been waiting to find you again. There was a pause, then a small, shaky laugh on her end. You always say the right thing. He didn't tell her that he didn't mean to. It just happened, because every word she spoke pulled the truth out of him. But love, even in its sweetest form, carries shadows. A few days later, Seline began to act different. Short replies, long gaps, a tone that felt distant. Michael, did I do something wrong? Seline, no, not at all. I just have things going on. Michael, talk to me, please. Seline, I can't right now, I'm sorry. Then she went offline. For days, her name didn't appear on his screen. His chest felt hollow, his nights longer. He scrolled through their old messages, replayed her voice notes, listened to her laughter like a prayer. And just when he started to believe she was gone forever, a message appeared. Seline, Michael, I need to tell you something. Crescent Moon, Chapter 4, Truth and Forgiveness. The message from Seline sat on Michael's screen like a weight. He stared at it for minutes, maybe hours, his heart beating too loud in the quiet. Seline, Michael, I need to tell you something. He typed, erased, retyped. Michael, what is it? Are you okay? The reply didn't come right away. When it finally did, it arrived in fragments, broken lines, like a confession she was afraid to finish. Seline, you've been kind to me. Seline, more than I deserve. Seline, I wasn't honest with you in the beginning. He felt his throat tighten. The cursor blinked. The air around him grew heavy. Michael, honest about what? The typing dots appeared again, then vanished. Then again. Then. Seline, when I first messaged you, it wasn't random. Michael's pulse quickened. Seline, my cousin works in a call center. They sometimes pretend to chat with foreigners. To keep them online. It's part of this scam thing. She gave me your name. Said you were nice, lonely, harmless. Seline, I was supposed to talk to you for a few days and stop. Seline, but then I didn't stop. His hands trembled as he read each line. His first instinct was disbelief. Anger burned through him, hot, sudden, cruel. Michael, so it was a game to you. I was a joke. Seline, no, please, it wasn't like that. It started that way, yes, but it changed. I changed. I swear to you, Michael, I fell for you, I didn't mean to. He stood up from his chair, packing, his heart pounding against his ribs. The woman he had trusted, the voice he had come to love, all of it felt like smoke now. Michael, you scammed me. Seline, I didn't take anything from you. Not money, not gifts, nothing, just your time. And maybe your heart, I'm so sorry. Tears blurred his vision. You have no idea what that means, he whispered to the empty room. He didn't reply that night. He couldn't. For 2 days, Seline's messages went unanswered. He deleted their chat twice, only to restore it again. Every time he tried to hate her, he remembered the sound of her laughter, the honesty in her voice, the way she talked about rain. On the 3rd day, she sent one final message. Seline, I'll stop bothering you after this. I just wanted you to know that I meant every word, even if I didn't deserve you. I'm sorry, Michael, for everything. He stared at it until his eyes ached. And then, instead of anger, he felt something else, grief, because even through the lies, she had become the most real part of his life. That night, Michael didn't sleep. He opened their old photos, their old calls, and whispered, if love was a lie, why does it hurt like the truth? And somewhere across the ocean, a girl named Seline cried into her pillow, whispering to the dark, I wish I'd met you honestly. Crescent Moon, Chapter 5, Love Beyond the Scam. Months passed. The snow melted in Chicago, and the spring sun poured through Michael's window like a quiet reminder that time heals everything. Or at least, it tries to. He had gone back to work, to friends, to pretending he was fine. But sometimes, when the city lights blurred against the glass, he'd hear her voice in his mind, soft, trembling, honest. I didn't mean to fall for you. No matter how much he tried to forget, she stayed. Not as a wound anymore, but as a whisper of something real. Then one morning, as he checked his email, a subject line froze him in place. From SelineMiranda@com. Subject, I never stopped thinking about you. He didn't know why, but his hands shook as he opened it. Michael, it's been 3 months. I know I have no right to write you, but I needed to tell you that I left that job. I couldn't keep lying to people after what happened between us. I've been working in a small cafe now. Every morning, I brew coffee and wonder if you still hate me. If I could take back the lie, I would. But what I felt for you, that part was true. It still is. Seline. He stared at the words until they blurred. He should have deleted it. He should have protected himself. But instead, he found himself typing back. Seline. You hurt me. You broke something I thought I could never rebuild. But you also reminded me what it felt like to care again. I don't know what this is, or what it could be. But if you're being honest now, really honest, maybe we can start over. No lies, just truth. Michael. He didn't expect a reply, but an hour later his phone buzzed. Seline, I'm flying to Manila next week to visit my mother's grave. Seline, if you ever want to know what's real, come find me. A month later, under a sky painted with orange and gold, Michael stood outside a small cafe near Cebu. The sea breeze smelled of salt and sugar. His heart raced like it hadn't in years. Then, the bell above the door chimed. She was there. No screen, no filter, just Seline in a simple white dress, hair tied loosely, eyes already wet with tears. Neither spoke at first. They just stared, letting the silence say what words never could. Then she whispered, You came. He stepped closer, his smile trembling. I told you I wanted to see what's real. She laughed softly, tears streaming down her face. This is real. He reached out, brushing a tear from her cheek. Then let's stop hiding from it. And for the first time, when they held each other, it wasn't through glass or distance. It was warmth and forgiveness, and something far greater than either of them expected. Love reborn from truth. That evening, as the waves whispered against the shore, Seline looked up at the moon and said softly, "Do you still think I'm your scammer?" Michael chuckled, pulling her close. "No," he murmured. "You're the best thing that ever fooled my heart." She smiled against his chest, the sea wind carrying their laughter into the night. And for the first time, neither of them was pretending. The end. For everyone who believes love can start in the most unexpected ways and still end in forever.